Question 10, call the Honourable Member for Arbory, Castletown, Malew, Mr Moorhouse.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I would like to ask the Cabinet Office Minister if she will make a statement on the recently released census data.
Call the Minister for the Cabinet Office to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I do not intend to make a statement.
Supplementary question, Mr Moorhouse.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. That's disappointing, Minister. How many forms were completed virtually, and why did it take 247 days for the data to be issued? The previous Minister has suggested there will be initial release in October 2021. Thank you.
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm not really prepared to comment on the indications given by the predecessor. Obviously, I would say that there's, it takes time to consider all the data, and I'd probably just, draw it back to the original question. So I may not have the answers that are required from the honourable member. Thank you.
Supplementary question, Mr Callister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Can I ask the Minister if the draft census report, if the 2021 census report was used when drafting the island plan?
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. It was available to Council of Ministers really within the past couple of weeks. Council of Ministers didn't have an individual breakdown of the data. It's received as a report, and now it is available for departments, the public, any public analysis and use of government. This is necessary, and I'm quite sure that down the line, as appropriate, the island plan and other departmental plans or area plans will now be able to take advantage of the census report. Thank you.
Further supplementary, Mr Moorhouse.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Given the speed at which the data should have been produced, was any consideration given to producing interim reports rather than one final report? And in terms of the total cost, has the Minister any data in terms of what it cost? And also in terms of the respondent rate, did everyone who should have completed the form complete the reform? And if anyone didn't complete the form, was action taken? Thank you.
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I don't have that information. I think that there would have been criticism attracted if there had been interim reports, strips and drabs of information of this kind. I don't think are helpful to anybody. The report is there, it's published, it's available for anybody who wants to look at it. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Question 11, call the Honourable Member for Arbory, Castletown. Oh, my apologies. I did have Mr Thomas on my list and I've forgotten.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. Easily overlooked. There are excellent officers working in this area who've been working under difficult situation. Difficult situation, because the answer might not be the one that people want to hear. Does the Minister agree with me that information about response rate, personal, household, any imputations is very likely to be published in the final report, which is expected in May or thereabouts, and it would be wrong to speculate about that sort of thing until we have all of the information presented to us. But secondly, does the Minister agree with me that it's also wrong for the Council of Ministers, for some politicians to have seen this information and not all population? Does the Minister not agree with me that the whole point of official statistics is that they're published to everybody at the same time?
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. First off, I agree with the honourable member that there is more analysis to do between now and a further report, and it's right that takes place, and it needs that time between now and the next report. The Council of Ministers receives the census as a full report, doesn't receive any other breakdown, and it was published as per the timescale that was given in answer to a question, I think, in November. It was stated that it would be published on the 1st of February. That happened, and so the commitment was met. Thank you.